What's up, Leafs Nation? Welcome back to another game preview. I'm Zack Phillips, and today we're going to be taking a look at game number 36 of the Toronto Maple Leafs regular season as we return back to action after our last game before the holiday break, taking on the Winnipeg Jets on Monday. Tonight, the Leafs against the Detroit Red Wings. A new coach for the Red Wings, potentially a new coach bump for the Red Wings, but an opportunity for this Leafs team to get healthy, get some guys back in the lineup. So we'll dig into all of that and much more as I am live on location in Ottawa covering the World Juniors with the Sheets and Jeff Merrick, which you should all be tuning into 3 p.m. live Monday to Friday on the Daily Faceoff YouTube channel. But before we get into anything here today, lines, best bets, any of that, today's show is a presentation of Bet365. Proud partner of the Leafs Nation pregame and the Leafs Nation After Dark. Open an account Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. Use code NATION, NATION. That's code NATION, all caps, NATION. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. So as I mentioned there, little bit limited in terms of what I can show you on the screen. Unfortunately, I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. We'll do our very best. We're still going to do the lines. We'll still get through what we're looking at for our best bet here. But as you can see, I am in a hotel set up at a desk with my camera propped up on 3 different bags, backpacks, whatever, so that I can get to this height as of right now. But that means that I only have one screen in front of me, and that means that I cannot put another screen in another screen to be able to show you the lines for today. So you're just going to have to listen and bear with me. I apologize, but it is what it is. First and foremost, let's go to the lines. I'm looking at Daily Faceoff, which is where you guys should be getting your lineup information. The first line for tonight, as of right now, Matthew Knies, John Tavares, Mitch Marner. I think that this is probably the best way to go about this. We saw them put these guys together in the most recent game against Winnipeg there as well. In all honesty, Mitch and John play very, very well together. We know that Tavares, his best seasons have come playing with Mitch Marner. We've seen a lot of chemistry actually developing between him and Nylander this season, kind of into last season a little bit there as well, which I think a lot of it is because of Nylander's dominant play and how much he's developed and improved and matured as a player. But regardless, you put Johnny T alongside Mitch, I think that chemistry will blossom here. Expecting Austin Matthews not to play yet again. Matthew Knies on the wing of that line. I think he's in a deserving spot there in the top 6. I know he's in a little bit of a lull right now, which is something people have been kind of giving him some shit for over the last little while. Realistically, the thing that I look at when I see Matthew Knies and his play is he's a kid. He's early on into his NHL career, and he's shown enough through the first season and a bit, that period of time when he jumped up and just played the last couple of games of the year and then played in the playoffs as well. He's shown enough and proved enough to see what he is as a player on a consistent basis, and this lull is not him and is not who he will be long term. So I think you let him play through it. I don't think there's any need to kind of punish the guy and say, figure it the fuck out, get better here in this small stretch where, you're not playing well, jump down to the third line, the fourth line. No, I think he'll be okay in that spot. I think you let him grind through this. You let him work it out. Play in the top 6 here still for a little while. I think that will be the best thing for him to be able to get back and get out of this little slump that he's in right now. So that is what you've got for a first line. Our second line here tonight, Nick Robertson, Max Domi, William Nylander. Let's call it what it is. This line needs to produce offense because there's not too much to them defensively. Nylander has matured a lot, obviously, and is much more capable of being an impact player in the defensive zone, but that's just not who he is. That's not his identity. He's an offense guy. Nick Robertson, supposed to be offensive guy. Max Domi, offensive guy. If this line is not playing 90% of their shifts in the offensive zone, this could be a problem here tonight. I think that they need to be generating a lot. They need to be in the O-zone for tonight to be a successful night. And obviously, ideally, I think they need to be scoring. Domi and Robertson here, these two guys, they've shown a lot when they were playing with McMahon on that third line. if this is really who you are, let's make sure that we get ourselves to a point here where you can kind of prove that, hey, we're not just doing this just because we're playing against third-line players. If you want to be more than that, this is an opportunity for you to play in the top 6, play some more important minutes, play higher up in the lineup, and really take over. So that's your second line tonight. Third line, McMahon, Kampf, Pacioretty. I don't have too much to say about these guys other than it's all going to be on McMahon and Pacioretty to generate offense. But that being said, between those two guys, there's a chance that this is the most physically punishing line we've seen of this Leafs team, and the most. I would put the term in I would put it in terms of the most clear identity we've seen of this group. And what I mean by that is it's a definitive checking line. Like, if you're going to put Max Pacioretty and Bobby McMahon out there together, and you're basically saying to them, every single time you go out on the ice, finish your checks, run guys through the boards, go out there and be absolutely dogs on the forecheck. Like, that's the expectation of those guys when they're going to go out there together. David Kampf, we know, is not bringing too much offense. Fourth line here, Steven Lorentz, Pontus Holmberg, Connor Dewar. Pontus Holmberg has been vanilla for me all season. Steven Lorentz, I like him. Connor Dewar, I don't mind him, but I think he's basically just like the better version of Pontus Holmberg, and he's like a cheaper version of David Kampf. So it's not like this is like, whoa, Connor Dewar's back. Like, the offense is going to fly. And that's no disrespect to him. We know who he is. We know what he is. But this line does not scream offense to me, so they better be defensively responsible here tonight. The defensive pairings, again, as of right now, it looks like Chris Tanev will be back. I'm not sure who he's going to be playing with here. Obviously missed the last game with a lower body injury there against Winnipeg just before the Christmas break. It was an interesting one. We didn't expect it. I put out a video, and right away after, it's like, oh, Chris Tanev's out, and I feel like the biggest idiot ever, but it happens. That's the world we got to live in here with with these ever-changing lines and how fluid things can be. I imagine here tonight he's got to hop back in with Jake McCabe or Ekman Larson, and then Jake McCabe will probably slide back with Simone Benoit. Timmins goes up with Morgan Riley, just based on how they had things before Tanev went out of the line. So that would be Riley, Timmins, Ekman Larson, Tanev, McCabe, Benoit. I think McCabe really helps Benoit, solidifies his game. Ekman Larson and Tanev are great together. The issue that comes then is you end up with Timmins and Riley, which I think has hurt Timmins, and I think Morgan Riley has not been, a guy who's jumping off the paper this season. I don't think he's been a guy that, to me, is standing out and really saying, oh, yeah, this is a guy you got to be looking out for every single time he's on the ice. And at $7.5 million, it's hurt. But when he's playing with a guy like Connor Timmins here, it's hurt a lot more because I don't think that they're the most defensively responsible. And I feel like Timmins is kind of put out of his depth here, having to play up to some of the competition that Morgan Riley normally does. And I don't think it helps the team in the bigger picture. So those are your defensive pairings. What I'm anticipating is if Chris Tanev comes back, obviously the D is fluid and could change here over the next little while. So keep an eye on that if you're looking for it, but that's my prediction and expectation. We don't know for sure how these guys will roll out tonight or what they'll put out for the pairings, but based on where we were before the holiday break, that was kind of the extent of it. Okay, let's get to our, and the last thing, sorry, all over the map here as I'm navigating with one screen, which I know that's such a one screen versus two problem, but when you rely on the two, going to the one, things are out of order in my head. It's on me. I'll be better. Goalie for tonight, likely Joseph Woll. I don't see why Matt Murray would go. I don't see why Dennis Hildeby, which I don't think he's going to get any more games here anyways, would go. But you have this one tonight. This would seem like where you'd put Joseph Woll in. Obviously, the Leafs are going to be playing back-to-back here. Tomorrow, they're going to be teed up against the Washington Capitals. But I don't know. You have a break. You have an opportunity here. The other thing, if you really, really wanted to, you could put Joseph Woll in both. it seems to me like Joseph Wall goes tonight. Matt Murray takes the brunt of it on the back-to-back, and then he goes back down. I feel like that's the way they're going to play this one. It seems like Joseph Wall is likely right now, and I just got a notification here. Craig Berube says Austin Matthews will not play today or tomorrow against Washington. And truthfully, even if he's at 90%, 99%, I wouldn't play him. Wait till the guy's at 100. So there you go. That's lineup. Let's get to our best bet for tonight. And our best bet segment is brought to you by Bet365, proud partner of the Leafs Nation pregame and the Leafs Nation After Dark. Open an account Bet365 today. And bet on a huge range of markets. Use code NATION, N-A-T-I-O-N. That's code NATION, N-A-T-I-O-N, all caps. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Okay, and again, we can't navigate to the Bet365 screen here on the show. I apologize for that. Hopefully you guys are doing it at home. I've already done this before the show here. Our best bet for tonight, for those keeping track at home, I mean, we are up on the season here now. I've told you, if you're looking, what's the record? 13-27. Yeah, 40 bets on the year. Has not been good record-wise, 13-27, but what it has been good for is wins. We're hitting some of these bigger plus money bets, and that puts us back in the win column. That means we're winning more on those ones. We're basically giving out plus money every single night. We've hit some 500s, 200s, up in those ranges. That gets us in a good spot, and that puts us up 1.23 units on the year. So 40 bets, 35 games that we've been through, game 36 here tonight. I'm feeling pretty good about that spot. If we keep this thing above zero and we end up profitable on the year, it's a good year. Giving out long shots, one prop a game, every single game, I think that's good. So tonight, what we're going to be looking for is more plus money. You're going to head on over to the Bet365 screen. Tonight, we're going to the player props as well. I normally go into goal scorers, power play, etc. This is one I bet on once this year already, actually, this market, once this year. We're going to do it for the second time tonight. We're going to go to John Tavares, shots on goal, over 3.5 plus 145. He's playing first-line center. He's going to be getting a lot of minutes. He's going to be the focal point of the offense. You look at that line and the construction of it, Mitch, pass-first guy. Matthew Nyes, he knows he's not the shooter on that line. Johnny T is playing net front on the power play, whether it's tipping opportunities or shots from the slot, which they've been using him more for because they bump him out up high, kind of closer to between the slot and the top of the circle, so he's able to open up for a rotation there for passes from Nylander from the side, Marner from the side to be able to get quick shots off there if it's rebounds, whatever it is. I just think Johnny T plus 145 over 3.5. It's a small mathematical edge on that one, but I could justify it in my head that this is a bet that makes sense. Something I want to get involved in myself. So that's going to be the best bet that we're running with here on the show today. Another way that I would look at this one, this is not me. This is someone else who talked to me and told me about this one, and I think it makes sense. It's not going to go in as a best bet, but if you're very interested in this, it would be the under 6 minus 110. Chris Tanev is confirmed to go, or it looks like he's going to be going here tonight, which would make sense. And with that leads me to the Leafs are going to play more of a defensive game here. Again, they got away from it on Monday against Winnipeg. They've gotten away from it a little bit over the last little while. It's something they need to clean up. They've been kind of sputtering here is the word that the guy used to talk to me about it, and I think it's the right word to kind of break down. They've been sputtering. Their offense has been, their defense has been kind of loose at times. I think the first thing that needs to be shored up before you can get firing offensively, and I think the first thing Craig Berube, Tree Living are going to stress and want to take care of is the defensive play. And when you get Chris Tanev back in the lineup and an opportunity for him to lead the charge defensively, blocking shots, being that guy back there, that I think that this is where a game where this team can really, really take advantage of that and just shut things down and make it low event. It's not going in as a best bet. It's something that I'm interested in. I'm monitoring the number throughout the rest of the day, but I just wanted to tell you guys so you weren't in the dark about it, and it's another way for you to play this one if you want to. But the one best bet for today, John Tavares, over 3.5 shots on goal, plus 145, $50. We're going to half unit on this one. Profits you $72.50, not 5 cents. that's all for the game preview here today. We appreciate you guys tuning in. I will be back for another Leafs Nation After Dark immediately after the game. I mean, I got the TV right here, so it should be pretty quick. I'm going to go from that spot right there watching the game to this spot right here doing the post-game show with you guys. We'll be breaking this one down. Game 36 of the Toronto Maple Leafs regular season. That's all for the game preview. If you did like it, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe here to the channel, Leafs Nation 401. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, whether it's game previews, post-game shows, or Leafs morning take. We've got it all here on this channel. So thank you so much to everyone who tuned in. Look forward to seeing you guys around 9:45 p.m. Eastern time for another Leafs Nation After Dark. Until then, thank you so much to everyone who watched here. Keep believing. For more content just like this, including game previews, post-game live shows, Leafs Morning Take, Monday through Friday with Nick Alberga and Jay Rosehill with special guests, as well as instant reaction videos, make sure to be subscribed here to the Leafs Nation YouTube channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, and drop a like.